Welcome to Today of All Days, episode 103.
You know what they say, an apple a day. Today is Software Saturday, September 16th, 2017. And today is
International Eat an Apple Day. It is common knowledge that apples are an excellent fruit to make part of your daily diet. I, personally, haven't done the greatest job at making a part of every day's diet, but I've heard that if you eat an apple in the morning time, that it's actually going to wake you up more than a cup of coffee. So maybe I should try that.
a medium-sized apple, around 3 inches in diameter, which I feel like might be a little bit on the small end, but you know how GMO apples are these days. A medium-sized apple contains roughly 14% of your daily value of vitamin C and over 15% of your daily value of dietary fiber. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the constipation away.
And so, who would we be to tell you to go eat an apple if we didn't do it ourselves? So, we have just that, our apple of today. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Don't have to do much to it because it grows on trees. I got peanut butter.
Thanks, Monsanto. And that brings us to
Today in History. In 1908, General Motors Corporation is founded in Flint, Michigan by William C. Durant and Charles Stewart Mott.
GM has grown since then to have some very recognizable brands like Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. They are now worth around $50.8 billion.
But I've also read that Tesla has recently surpassed GM as far as total net worth. I think it said they were somewhere around the ballpark of like 53 billion.
Ah, you see, GM? Maybe you should have kept a hold of those EVs back in the day.
Yeah, back in 1996, you actually had GM produce an electric car. In essence, they just leased them out. And during that time, the people that owned them were like, oh, I love them. They could have gone a little bit further on a full charge. But ultimately, GM repossessed every single one of them, except for one that's in the Smithsonian Institute.
There are a few other ones in other places here and there, but they've had their electric motors disabled, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
It almost makes you wonder what they were trying to cover up.
They had a special crew to work on the EVs. They were already planning the EV2. They had developed a brand new battery so that the cars could go further, and people came up to the end of their leases and they had the opportunity to renew them, and people offered them cash in hand to buy the cars from them. And despite all of that, they scrapped them anyway. Maybe Tesla deserves to be a little bit ahead these days.
Yeah. Show them what's up. Instead of taking your money-lined pockets full of grease and oil spills, gas, emissions.
And now we're gonna double-click over to
Software Freedom Day! Now, Software Freedom Day was actually created in 2004. And a lot of people think, oh, software free software. Oh, it doesn't cost me anything. Which is true, it doesn't cost you anything. But the biggest thing about it is that you have access to the source code, and that you're allowed to manipulate that source code, and you're allowed to redistribute that program. No matter how it's changed, no matter how it's altered, that program is yours. You can use it how you want to, when you want to, without having any strings attached. Which I feel like with how mobile phones are these days, There's an attachment to everything. Pokemon Go. Now I gotta buy Pokeballs for everything. I'll never catch them. I'll never catch 3 Pikachus.
And you might be thinking, oh, so that's just open source. I know all about that. Oh, well, you'll be wrong. Open source, as it turns out, has some attributes as free software, but a lot of the open source licenses don't let you alter the source code the way that truly free software does. But you can view the source code.
So it's a little give and take. Sometimes, even if they call it open source, they will let you alter it, and it could be considered free software. However, there's a very, very fine line between the two, and it seems that on both sides, there's some people that are very passionate about this difference.
Don't you call a free software open source, and don't call an open source free software on this day.
Today of all days.
Today of all days.
And we will see y'all Monday.
Bye.
Bye.